morning. Happy Monday. Um, Good morning, Deb and Susan. And good morning, large barking dog across the street. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that dog was for most of the summer, but not around. And I kind of forgot about it. um, but it seems to be back, and it barks a lot. Good morning, Sandra. Um, it's a German Shepherd, and one of those dogs that I don't know if it's all German Shepherds or just some. We had a German Shepherd for a short period of time, uh, but it wouldn't stop barking, which is kind of what this dog does. It is. Uh, we live right on um, the main street of town, which sounds like it would be a big. It's not a big street, right? The main street in town is a pretty small street, and there isn't a huge amount of traffic, but there's a steady amount of cars that go by and people and whatnot. So um, a dog that is like reactive to that is going to have a hard time, right? Good morning, Dora. Um, so yeah, this poor dog we had for a little while, and he just wore himself out barking all the time at everything that went by. Um, and kind of wore us out too. So he found a new home. Um, he actually went to a chicken farm in Pocomoke City, Maryland. If you didn't know this, I mean, you probably do know this, that Delaware and the Delmarva Peninsula is like a huge chicken production, like a huge fraction. It's a very large quantity of the chicken that's produced in this country comes from that area. And so this was an older woman who had a bunch of chicken houses that I guess her husband had started, and I think he'd passed away. So she was in charge of the chicken houses now. And I guess she had fences around the chicken yard, the chicken houses. And then at night, she would let uh, her German Shepherds loose in the fenced area, which I guess kept anyone who wanted to come in and monkey with the chickens or predators, varmints that might want to get in there and get the chickens. So other than that, very peaceful life, and but plenty of work to do at night. So I think that German Shepherd was a happy dog at that in that place, but not so happy here. So that's an interesting thing to talk about, right? That idea of many times when we are unhappy or not working or things just aren't working for us, um, we tend to think there's something wrong with us, right? That we are doing something wrong. When in fact, we may just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? We may be trying to fit ourselves into a hole where we don't fit, right? Putting a square peg in a round hole, or vice versa. Um, sometimes the things that make you who you are, and the really beautiful things, um, depending on what's going on with you and where you are in your life, they can become a burden or a hindrance, right? So uh, look at the German Shepherd, right? Super alert, very territorial, barks a lot, um, trying to communicate what's going on. Um, those are terrible things in the wrong situation, but in the right situation, they're great. Um, so when we have trouble in our life, I think it's really important to think, what's causing this? Is this really me, or am I just in the wrong situation? Is Do I need to change? My environment, my um, way of doing things. Right? Is it really? Um, do I really need to stop what I'm doing, or do I just need to find a new place to do it? Um, they're all good questions, and it's a good thing to look at. Um, People, a lot of times, when they are um, working on this sort of yoga path, um, they will find that they're changing in one way or another. Um, Sometimes they really aren't changing so much as becoming sort of more of themselves, maybe a bigger version of who they always were, a little more amplified. Um, and we sometimes find that that doesn't really fit anymore with where we are. Um, Maybe we have been doing something different. We've been putting on a front or covering up something about ourselves to try to fit in, to try to accommodate everyone else around us. Um, that is not necessary. Um, Everyone can figure it out for themselves, right? Um, if people, if you are changing, if you are becoming sort of more of who you are, let that shine. Um, there may be people that don't like that. Too bad. um, you can't please everybody. And if you try to, right, you won't be anything at all. You'll just be a very watered down version of a human being. Um, you'll be a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and nothing of yourself. So be who you are, and know that there are going to be some people that don't like that. And there are going to be some people that love it, right? Um, I often tell people who are looking for someone in their life, someone special, right? Um, you can't find that until you have found yourself, until you can really show who you are. Um, you can't expect to find someone else, um, because you until you've done that, until you're to that place where you are shining out who you are. um, you're just a puzzle, right? You're a puzzle to yourself and to other people. You're one thing and then you're another. You're going back and forth. It's all over the place. Um, so be um, don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid to show. We are all super weird and also super interesting and super unusual. And this is great. This is a really good thing. Um, I homeschooled my kids, and I remember them not liking it that much when they were younger, um, because they felt different. They didn't like being different, and um, but what they noticed, right, was as we got together with other homeschooled kids, as opposed to kids who were in school, um, they kept saying, "These kids are so weird. Why are these kids so weird?" My husband would say, "Why are homeschool kids so weird?" And they are kind of, right? But they are because people are weird. People are unusual. Um, the problem is that we cover it up. We have spent so many years trying to fit in, trying to be something that we maybe aren't. Um, we forget what we really were to begin with. We've forgotten the things that we enjoy. We set them aside. We Someone told us that was dumb or useless. Um, there's no money in that. What are you doing that for, right? And we forget. We think it's unimportant. But those are the things that make us interesting, that make us who we are. Um, there is nothing I love more than to hear someone tell me what they're interested in. Um, and I am always amazed at the huge range of things out there that I've never even heard of. I've never even thought of. I didn't even know existed. But there's someone out there who is spending large portions of their day working very hard on that. And these are the things that make life amazing to me. So find your place. If your situation, if your arrangement in life does not suit you, change it. Go live on a chicken farm in Pocomoke City if you need to. Find what works for you and understand that that may change over time. Don't be afraid to change with it. Um, Nothing is permanent. Things can always be changed. My youngest is struggling, trying to figure out what to do in life. Right? I mean, everybody's kind of struggling with that, right? But he's really struggling because he feels like it's really, really final. You know that any decision you make cuts off all of the other decisions. And he's 20, right? So what does he know? As far as he knows, maybe it will, right? He hasn't made a lot of big decisions. Um, but we know, right? We know those big decisions can always be reversed. You can always make another big decision and move in some other direction. I mean, I hope we know that, right? Because you can. um, and that's kind of the beauty of experience is that we know that life has so many chapters. Um, there is no permanent choice. There's nothing that you can't move around if you need to, if you want to. Um, it might not be easy, but it can be done. Um, so if you need to do it, just do it. Take some steps to move in the direction you want to go. Because this is it, right? We are trying to craft our life in a way that will serve us and allow us to be able to help others and serve the people around us. Okay, so let's do some asana. Um, while the dog has gotten very quiet now, I guess nothing's happening. But you may hear that dog barking, and that'll be fun. All right, so we're sitting up, relax the shoulders. One more breath, and then chin down toward the chest. Let the head hang. And moving the head around, big circle. Going one way and then the other. Back to center. Lean forward here. Move around. One way and the other. Back up to your seat, arms wide. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale and exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands. We're gazing up and then arms down by your side. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Once more, lifting up. Right hand by your side, reach across. And switch. Back up. Lift and roll back. And then roll forward. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind you. Sit up tall. And then twist. Back to center. Switch sides. And back to center. Coming into tabletop. In a minute after I fix my mat, which is moved all over the place. Back on the heels. Coming back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Maybe moving around a little if you want. And then step the feet up to the hands. We'll be in a fold. Take a few breaths. Rising up. Standing tall, deep breath in and out. Inhale, lift the arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back with the right foot. Drop the knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat, step back. Downward dog. Inhale, high plank. And lower down. On an inhale, we're lifting up just the head and chest. And lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Once more. Lifting up. And lower. Moving back up. Tabletop. The downward dog. Take one more breath. And on the exhale, we're going to step the right foot up to the hand. Drop that left knee, arms overhead. And then both hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Lifting. On your inhale, hands back down by your side for mountain. Breath in and out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Drop your knee. Arms overhead. One more breath. And then hands down to the mat. Step back. Downward dog. Inhale to high plank. And lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. Lower. And lift. And lower. Coming back up. Tabletop, downward dog. Take one more breath. And then Left foot steps up. Set the knee down, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting the arms. Back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Let's step to the side. So we've got kind of wide legs here. Hands at the waist or hips. Take a deep breath. Relax the shoulders. Fold forward. You can bring the hands down wherever you want. Breathe, keeping that weight toward the front of the body. Hands to the waist. Use that strength in the body to lift back up. Breath in and breath out. And then turning. So we'll face the front of the mat. Right foot out, left foot back. Interlace the fingers, draw the shoulders back. Take a deep breath and fold. And then pressing down, that right foot, back foot steps up, arms overhead, and back to mountain. Breath in, and breath out. Stepping again to the side. Hands at the waist again. Take a breath and then fold forward. Whatever you want to do with the hands, you might walk them back to sort of help guide that fold. It's entirely up to you. If you've got a block, you could see about resting the head. Maybe 2 blocks, depending on where you are with this. And then hands back to the waist, rising up. Breath in and breath out. Facing the front of the mat again, we've got left leg out, right leg behind. Interlace the fingers, shoulders back. Breath in, fold forward. Rising up, back foot steps up, arms overhead, back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. And then let's do some balance. So standing on the left foot for tree, bringing the right foot in, steady here, maybe kickstand if you're not feeling super balanced today. You can hold here or extend the arms if you're feeling pretty steady today. Your choice. Keeping your gaze eye level or higher. Find that focus. Will help keep you steady in the pose. And then set the foot back down, and we're going to switch sides. So standing on the right, find your version of the pose on this side. And breathe. So we're trying to usually do about what we do on one side, same on the other. So if you have a side that's really struggling, you want to just work to that side. And see if you can, build up that side before you worry too much about that really strong side, right? And then set the foot down, bicycle out the legs. And then let's do a dancers here. Arms up overhead. Drop the right hand. We're going to bend the knee, reaching back. So you might be just touching the foot or the heel. You might be able to get a hold of the foot. That'd be great. Whatever works for you here. We're going to be steady with the knees together, finding that balance, and then see if you are feeling like some extension. Might be just a little extension or more, really up to you. Again, working within that range of balance and flexibility. If you need a wall, steady yourself, that's no problem. Right? And then gently come on back up, release the foot, cartwheel the arms around. And then let's switch. So left knee, we're bending, catch that foot. Find your steadiness here. And then see if there is some extension that's going to happen. Not every day is that going to feel like the right thing. But just see what kind of day it is today. And then come on back up. Cartwheel arms around. And we're back up, top of the mat. Arms overhead. Maybe lean back a little. Fold forward. Inhale, coming to a flat back. On the exhale, we're going to step back to downward dog. Moving forward on the inhale, high plank, and then lower down. Head turns to the right, arms by your side. Let's bring the head back to center. We're going to bring your hands to about chest height, setting up for Cobra. So tops of the feet are resting on the mat. You've got the hands about chest height. Bring the elbows close. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then we're lifting up, head and chest. Lift the hands. Lower down, head turns left. Relax. Head back to center. Let's come up onto the elbows and forearms like for Sphinx, right? So setting that up. Feet a little wider on the mat maybe, and then we're pressing down the hands, forearms, squeezing the shoulders back, steady gaze. Then lower down. And just rest the chin or the forehead on the hands. Take a few breaths. And we're moving back up. Tabletop to child's pose. Back up. Downward dog. Step the feet up and come on down to a seat. Soles of the feet together. Sitting up tall for a deep breath. And then folding forward. Moving back up, both legs out in front. Breath in, fold forward. Coming back up, we're going to bend the right knee. Bring that in close to the body. And then lowering the knee out to the side. You can bring that right foot in close to the thigh. Deep breath in, fold forward. Moving back up. Let's switch legs. Lowering left knee out. Sit up tall, take a deep breath, and then fold forward. Back up, both legs out in front. Deep breath in, exhale, fold. Moving back up. Bend the knees. Soles of the feet to the mat. And we're lowering down. Get comfortable here. Take a few breaths. Bending the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. Setting up for supported bridge. Got your block here, hopefully. If not, you could just do a regular bridge and hold it for a few breaths and then come on back down. Whatever you want to do. Lifting up, find a place for the block, and just rest the body on the block. So you can stay like this. You could draw the knees into the chest. You could extend the legs. You could extend the legs long, if you like how that feels. Plenty of choices. Whatever feels like what you need today. So supported bridge, I mean, you can stay here for a while if you want. I wouldn't stay here more than like 5 minutes or so. I mean, you could, but most people, it would get you get tired of it. But it's a nice pose, and it's not going to hurt you to stay in here for a little bit. Sometimes we do this with legs up. You can do this legs up against the wall too, either with a block or without a block. But with the block, it just um, lifts things up a little bit, which is sometimes nice. So definitely an option. And then extend the legs. Take a few breaths. And let's move into Shavasana from here. So you can stay right here if you want to move around a little to get set, you can. Just trying to feel very steady and relaxed, whatever position you choose to be in for this. When you're ready, moving a little, fingers and toes, hands and feet. If you want to stretch, you can. And then making your way up to a seat. We'll bring our hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking some time today for yoga and for sharing it with us here. Hope you have a really great day. Namaste. Thank you. There's your yoga for Monday. Let's move into, I didn't get this set up, but I'll do it fast. Moving into some meditation. So last week we did a lot of yoga nidra. I usually don't do meditation so much after that because it's kind of like meditation, right? It's that you're in that same sort of place, and so it seems kind of redundant to then throw in a little meditation at the end. But you always can. It's not like you don't want to do that, but you don't necessarily need to. You may already have been in that space enough. Okay, so we're sitting comfortably. Get a cushion, sit in a chair, whatever you want to do. Closing the eyes, find that space between the thoughts, that peace. Another way to think about it is this idea of the sky behind the clouds, right? So think of the clouds kind of as your thoughts and impressions and images that are moving past you. But there is something behind that, right? There's something more than just that. There's the sky in which this is projected. Right? So thinking of that plain, peaceful space. coming back to awareness. Maybe you heard the motorcycle just as the bell went off. Perfect. Either one brings you back to here. Okay, so some yoga, some meditation. Get your day going if you haven't already. Monday, and see what you can do today that is fun and productive, maybe. Or just read a book. I'm thinking about just reading a book today. It may be happening. I don't know. All right. Let me think. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Don't think there's anything going on this week. We'll see. Okay. Have a good day.